Alright, so what are we doing?
Sweet. You told me there's a tree down, so we're gonna go move it. So I'm gonna go on the tractor and you guys are gonna follow.
Sweet, let's do it. We have Bros for Speed out here today, and I was giving them a little tour in the side-by-side, and we found that one of the Vinny's trees is just laying down in the middle of his path. So for the first part of the video today, we're gonna take Vinny's tractor and head down to the farm and see if we can get this out of the way.
Right? Huh. All right, well, let's see if we can move it.
Oh my God. That's one way to do it.
I was thinking we're gonna like be pulling it.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. He just drove right through it.
It's like, I'm just gonna charge it.
Yeah, you just went right through it.
Well, plus I didn't want to get stuck in the mud. I'm like, let's just go.
So
well,
two trees came down?
Yeah, right here.
That's crazy.
Oh my God. I love it. Holy crap, that's actually a pretty picture. Hey, if you get stuck, I got the tractor. Oh my God. That was epic, dude.
That was awesome. I didn't know if we'd make it or not.
Holy cow. All right, I'll meet you guys up there. I'm a little slower.
Sounds good.
I was gonna get the mud in the face.
Yep, you were.
Great. All right, Miller told me to tell you that we just crashed through some trees and all that good stuff, and we're here with the guys from Bros for Speed, F-O-U-R. If you don't know who they are, they're awesome, number one, and they live close by. But number two, I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. And we did a couple videos in the Ford GT. I'm always telling you how awesome it is. We're gonna let them talk about it for a sec. So I'm gonna turn it over to you.
What's up, guys? So I'm Mike.
I'm Brian.
And yeah, we do car reviews, projects on our own vehicles, and this is the first time ever getting to sit in a Ford GT. So
Much less drive one.
Yeah, really, much less drive one.
Hey, I got to ride it too, so for the first time ever, so it's awesome.
And Vinny let us rip on it a little bit. It is a sweet car. If you're not familiar with our channel, I own an R8 with a manual, so to me it was kind of very similar, but obviously a much different beast with this car.
I feel like we're used to this era of cars. Like I have a GTR that is kind of at the tail end of this era, and then you hop into this, and it's surprising how Ford can make something this insane back in 05, because you know they made kind of more generic cars back then, but this is literally more precise than I expected. It looks intimidating, but you could daily this and just it craves to be driven, which I didn't expect.
Yeah.
It is insane.
The fact that it drives almost like a modern
Yeah, it felt so
supercar.
good.
Yeah, it does.
feels so refined for how raw it is.
But it's way more connected, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like, don't you feel like when you sit in that seat and you start driving it, that you almost like become the car?
Yeah.
Or my experience with a lot more modern cars, like the new R8 V10 Performance that
Yeah.
I just felt like it was like a daily driver.
Yeah.
But very fast.
Right, yeah.
And cool.
It's way more laid back and refined.
Yes.
Even though this has some refinements, it's totally different.
I feel like you have to drive the car to actually make it perform, and it's not that hard to do. It's like you
Yeah,
can rip
exactly.
on it. It
Yeah.
doesn't just step out from you. It's not unrefined in the sense of like a bag of bolts. It actually is really well done. Like
Yeah. It's impressive.
I'm impressed.
So with your guys' take, no nannies, no traction control, anything, right? You are the
Yeah,
car.
yeah.
How did it feel as far as like intimidation factor, or you know, how confident did you feel? Overconfident? Like, what was your take on that side of things as you were driving it?
I didn't think it took long to start getting confidence. Like I did first, second gear full throttle, I think, and the shifting,
Yeah,
the
I
shifting
did too.
wasn't
It was
like-
great.
Yeah.
It was easy to shift, and I don't know if you could easily get overconfident. It'd be hard.
I don't feel like you could get overconfident driving it, just because
It felt so confident.
you have a lot more weight over the rear tire. So like
Yeah.
you have some comfort knowing you're not really gonna break loose unless you do something that
Yeah.
you shouldn't do.
I feel like if you stay responsible, you can push
Yeah.
it without getting out.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's so cool.
So it allows a lot of room to learn the car, I think, without getting in over your head.
Not like I guess a Carrera GT, which would be
Yeah, like it's not like the limit
More.
just hits you. I
Yeah.
feel like you could probably work the limit on this a little bit.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like when you guys drove the 05 Viper I had with the
Yeah.
arrow and everything, that was an intimidating car, and it took a while
Yeah.
to really get used to like,
Yeah.
okay, where's that limit? Where's that
Yeah.
time where it's just gonna snap on us? You know?
Yeah, because like pushing that car kind of in mid-level, it felt such like a go-kart, but you know that if you go a little bit harder, it might do something you don't want it to do.
That's exactly right.
This
Yeah.
This didn't
feels
have
like
that
it has
feeling.
the refinements over what Dodge can do with the Viper, which
Agreed.
there's a level of maturity this car has.
That's a great way to put it.
Like that you don't expect for how it looks. It looks wild and crazy, and then it actually is a driver's car. which
Yeah.
is-
Well, the thing I think about too is that the value of these cars now, right? Is I don't want anything to happen to it,
Yeah.
and so
Right.
as confident as I feel when I'm driving it, and I push it pretty hard. I know the car's limit is way past mine.
Yeah.
Just almost
Yeah.
because I'm thinking about like I don't want to wreck this car, I don't want to wreck this car, you know?
Yeah.
So it kind of keeps you a little bit more humble. I feel like.
Yeah,
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially us driving and not owning the car.
Right. That's what I told him. Yeah, that's what I told him. I was like, I'm only revving it to what you let me do. You know.
I know I was tempted to throw you guys in the passenger seat and show you how I drive it,
Yeah.
and be like, okay, there is a higher limit, and even
Yeah.
then, I know I'm not pushing it hard
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
Like when I took it to Blue Ridge Mountains with all the guys, that was intimidating to me because now you got cliffs, right? So like,
yeah.
it's not just wrecking the car. It's now like, okay, is it going to slip out on me, and
Yeah.
then we're gonna have a real problem.
Right.
Yeah.
I could see this being a ton of fun in those roads
Yeah.
that we do for sure.
It's impressive for coming up on 20 years. Like it feels so modern. Like
Right?
Yeah.
so interesting.
My thing about that too is I don't think any car company has been able to replicate the connection in like the performance in the modern cars is now faster and better, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's quite there. I mean, I've driven GT3s and manual R8s and all this stuff, and I just haven't quite, and that could be personal,
Yeah.
right? I just haven't quite connected
Yeah.
with those cars as much
I could see that.
because they still feel refined.
Yeah.
But then I'm also coming out of a GT40. Like, then it's like super raw,
Yeah.
where it's like, so it's kind of the spectrum. I don't know. But good job, Ford.
Awesome.
And now the newer one, like we were talking about earlier, I heard is not fun. It's fun to drive, but not anything like this.
Yeah, I've never been really around it, but I'm sure it's very robotic where it does everything. It's probably fun, but you have to do it, which I like that old school factor of you having to make the car do it. Like
Agreed.
I like that.
Yeah,
I
me
don't
too.
think our age we're at that end of we still love manuals, all that stuff. So there's something on it.
I was hoping they would do a release of a manual
That-
modern Ford GT. That would have been
That would have been sweet.
that would have been epic. I think maybe Ford, okay, you did really good here. You might have missed the mark on the more modern stuff.
Yeah.
But because I want the trifecta so bad.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I like if it drives worse than this, then what's the point? That's
Right.
a lot of money to put out there to
Right.
not want to drive it. You know.
This car, it seemed like when I drove it, I don't know, 10 miles, like it wanted to be driven more, and I wanted to drive it more.
He didn't want to pull in. We almost
I wanted to keep-
I almost told him to
keep
keep going. Give me each of your favorite cars you've done on your channel, like not including like.
Funny, I just asked him that
Yeah.
before you
Oh,
actually
really?
were
Oh, I'm
talking
sorry.
about that. No, it's funny. It's
Okay,
great.
cool. Well, now you're-
Yeah, absolutely.
The car that I told him was the Ferrari 488 Spider. I don't know if I would ever buy one, but that was one of the most fun cars that I've been able to drive. At the time, it was the most expensive, but just I'm not a huge fan of convertibles, but with the hardtop
Yeah.
option, it sounded amazing. It was definitely a lot of fun
I'd say
at that price point.
I'm torn, Huracan Eva or the McLaren 650S. The McLaren, so fast, top down, but reliability kind of scares me.
Yeah.
Huracan Eva, I feel like because they're so reliable, like it's such a solid car. It's kind of like this, but like a modern version, I'd say in some ways. But that'd be up there for me, I'd say.
Anyway, thanks for coming. I think that's it. You guys have anything else?
Thanks, that's it. Thanks again for letting us drive this. It was so cool.
Yeah, definitely
Such
an
amazing
bucket list car to not only sit in, but drive and push a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So thank you again.
Appreciate you guys coming.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, check them out. We'll put all their information in the beginning of the video, middle of the video. We'll just run it on a, like, you know, the news stations, how it just kind of always goes past. We'll just put it all there. So anyway, see you next time.